Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! So me and my dad, mostly me, are really into paintball. I got a GE04 and a new free kit for my birthday, and I like to be comfortable when I'm playing. Meaning I don't like to wear winter clothing while playing. My dad and I thought we should just wait for spring to roll around, meaning now. The cast of the story is the entitled mom, entitled kid 1 and 2, sweet dad, me and my dad. My dad is entering the pro shop, the entitled mother comes up to me and asks if I would go easy on the entitled kids, and I say sure because I could tell that they are younger than me and that they were new to paintball. Me and my dad are filling up our pods and hoppers so we can start heading down to the field to play. But the entitled mother came up to me and my dad to ask if we could give them some paint. "Could we have a case or two of your paint, please?" "Sorry ma'am, but me and my dad are planning to use all of our cases of paint." The sweet dad says, "Jenny, we should be fine. We can always buy more if we need any more." "But they have so much paint. They aren't going to use all of it." Now, may I remind you that me and my dad are really into paintball, so we usually get 6 cases of paint to last us the whole day. Dad says, "If we have any left over at the end of the day, we will give the rest of the paint to you." And the entitled mother snarled at us in disgust. Skip an hour and 30 minutes or so, and me and my dad are on the opposite side of the family. Now, call me a prick, but I wanted to get the mom out as disrespectful as I could. But in a way that is deemed sportsmanlike. Now at paintball park, bunkering when you shoot someone up close was allowed, and I plan to use it to my fullest extent. As I'm playing, the entitled kid 1 and 2 are not calling a single shot and are wrapping off the paint marks. I get pissed and I go for the hand because being host and hand is one of those spots you don't want to get hit, along with your private parts, neck and eye. The entitled kid number 1 starts crying and a referee takes him out of the match. And the mom was pissed. She starts to walk towards me, and as soon as she was 20 feet away, I popped 3 in her leg, the one on the mask. The ref pulled her out of the match and the game ended. As we are in a safe zone, the entitled kid number 2 finds GE02 and starts to fake shoot people with it. I snatched it away from him and told him to never point guns at things. He asks, "Can I use your gun, please?" "No, my gun is important to me and is also very expensive. I don't want anything to happen with it." "I want to use the gun now," the sweet dad says. Chad, not the real name of course. "Let's go over there and look at the other matches." "No, I want to use the gun," the entitled mother adds. "Why won't you let him use the gun?" My dad tells her, "I just got it for him for his birthday, and this is brand new and quite expensive. We just don't want to run any risk of damage." "Oh come on, our guns cost $50 each. Your gun isn't expensive at all, it's just like the others." The game was about to start, but I realized the entitled kid number 1 took my mask. As I'm chasing him around the safe zone, the entitled kid number 2 shoots me 8 times under my eye. I turned around to see the entitled mother helping her hellspawn shoot me. I snapped. Me and my dad yell, "What are you doing? I could have lost an eye or worse, and you just helped your son do this to me? The actual nonsense lady." The 2 kids started to cry and the entitled mother was crying too. A ref came over to see what the problem was, and the entitled mother tried to play the victim by saying that I was framing them by rubbing paint on my face to make it look like they shot me. I swear the sweet dad gathered up all his strength to say that his wife and son did it, and that he was done with her. The cops were called, me and my dad pressed charges against the entitled mother, and yes, we gave all of our paint to the sweet dad at the end of the day. Besides an encounter 30 years ago with a mom who thought the sun shined out of her kids, I hadn't experienced any of these crazy people. That changed about 2 hours ago. Some important and relevant backstory first. 18 months ago, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. It wasn't long before I had to have surgery to remove the tumor. It was an 18-hour surgery. They removed about a foot of my large colon and 18 lymph nodes. I woke up in the ICU. When I finally looked down, I had a long scar running down the center of my body. It started just below my chest and runs past my belly button to just above my pubes. I also have a reversible colostomy. It's important to understand that I have what's called an appliance stuck to the side of my torso that collects my poop. I have to then empty the bag instead of pooping. I also have to change the whole appliance every 4 days. I will soon be able to have my colon put back together and no longer deal with this thing. Anyway, this morning I was at one of those large office buildings next to a hospital. I was waiting to see my surgeon to discuss when he was going to reconnect my colon. This place has one of those enormous waiting rooms for multiple doctors. I know there is going to be a long wait as my surgeon is very much in demand. So, I brought my Nintendo Switch. I was sitting playing my game for a few minutes when the entitled dad and entitled kid sat near me. I hear the kid say, "Wow, Dad, look! That guy has a Switch!" He just says, "Yeah, I see." I'm very outgoing and love to talk, so I asked the father if he minds if I play a few games with his son. The father at this point seems perfectly normal and says, "Yeah, no problem." The kid looked to be around 10 or 11. I'm in my mid-30s but have been a lifelong gamer. I also have 7 nieces and nephews, so I play games with kids his age all the time. I placed the Switch on a side table near us and handed the kid one of the Joy-Cons. We played a couple races before he asked what else I had. I brought out Smash Bros. Ultimate and the kid was jumping up and down. We played Smash for nearly an hour before I heard my name called. I raised my hand and said, "Here." So the nurse saw me and I quickly grabbed my Joy-Con from his hands and packed the Switch away in my backpack, and I began walking towards the nurse. Just as I make it to the nurse, I feel someone tap my shoulder. The entitled dad says, "Hey man, can you let my son play with your Switch while you're in with the doctor?" "Sorry man, I had a blast playing with him, but who knows if you'll be here when I get back," I responded. "So, you're an adult. Why do you need it anyway?" I was astounded, so I just turned to follow the nurse, who was holding the door open for me. It's important to note that during the hour I was playing with the kid, my ostomy became active and started filling. At this point it was more than half full. I am wearing a t-shirt so you can see the outline of it when this happens. Just to give you context, a few weeks ago a police officer thought I was carrying a gun under my shirt because of this. So yeah, it looks like there is something large in my front pocket. The entitled dad says, "You fat jerk. You're going to give my son the game or else." The nurse finally says, "Sir, please leave the man alone." I appreciate the attempt, but it sounded rather weak. The guy was about 6'4" and looked like a weightlifter, so I guess he was used to intimidating other people. As he alluded to, I'm a large guy, I'm about 6'2", and I'm overweight, so I'm used to not being intimidated. I responded with, "Not going to happen." He decided to make it physical. I was only half facing him, and he grabbed my shoulder, spun me around to face me, and with his other hand, started trying to get under my shirt. He's yelling, Gimme, you fat jerk." He eventually gets a hold of my appliance and pulls as hard as he can. I don't know how he thought it was a game because it's soft. I screamed in pain because the adhesives that hold this thing on are strong. He actually managed to rip some of my skin off. The bag is perfectly sealed while it is attached to me, but as he pulled it towards himself, a bunch of poop came flying out all over his shirt, pants and shoes. When he pulled it, he turned it upside down while trying to cup it in his grasp, and he began to run away. He realized something was wrong halfway through his turn. I got a little bit on my shirt, but the bleeding was a problem. The nurse led me quickly back into the room, and I had my surgeon in a room in a matter of seconds, making sure I was okay. I kept a spare appliance in my bag, so I was back in business in no time. I washed my shirt out in the sink, only a very small part got any on it, and it was easy to clean with soap and water. It got me home. It got me home at least. I later found out that the man just stood there for a while, stunned. The front desk people were laughing when they told me this. They said he seemed completely shocked that it wasn't a game. Apparently, he dropped the appliance and yelled for his son and tried to leave. But the security caught up to him pretty quickly, and he was arrested. I have to go and make a statement tomorrow. Update. I just came out from giving my official statement. I am typing this in my car, and I was expecting to go see a police officer this morning. I got a call over an hour ago from a lawyer from the prosecutor's office, and she asked me to come to her office instead. I went to her office, and apparently the entitled dad was arrested and he was released. I also caused a bit of an argument in the prosecutor's office. Two of the lawyers were arguing over whether grabbing my bag was assault or theft. One was arguing it was part of my body while the other argued it was my property. When I arrived, the woman explained that for the moment he was only charged with a misdemeanor. However, once they settle this issue, they will be adding a further charge. I wasn't told any of this until I gave my statement. She told me the chances of him going to trial is slim, so I probably won't have to testify. Oh, and I had no say in whether he was prosecuted. He was being prosecuted whether or not I gave a statement because of all the witnesses. So there it was, a beautiful day that I was spending inside when I went to get something to eat. I realized I didn't have any food to eat, so I went to my local mall to buy some food for my home, as you do. So I arrived at the mall and decided I would go to the food court, then the supermarket, so I went to the food court and had some tacos. They were bomb. But as I ordered the most delicious food on earth, I bumped into a little girl about 8 to 10 years old. I said sorry like a good person, but I noticed that she had been running around the food court earlier, like she was looking for something, so I asked her if she was lost and she said that she couldn't find her mom. So I thought I could leave the line to help her look for her mom, or I could keep being in line and buy me and a girl some food. So I asked her if she was hungry and she said yes. So I bought her some nachos, we ate, and then I told her, let's ask the security guard to help us. She accepted and I started to see that she was more happy when we arrived at the security guard tent/shop thing. And I told him what I told him, all that has happened. He went on the intercom and asked for Karen to come to the tent/shop. The kid told him the name of her mom. Karen quickly comes to the tent/shop. I will call it a post from now on. When she arrived, she seemed annoyed and the following happened. There you go, come on, you have been gone for too long. For context, I hate seeing people dominate others with an iron fist. I say, now I know that it's none of my business, but she cuts me off. If it's not, then don't say anything. It's just that I think that is no way to treat a child. Don't tell me how to treat my child. And then she leaves. The security guard sees me red with anger and says, let it go. There is no use arguing with people that have less than one brain cell. I grunt. Fine. It's just I hate to see people dominate with an iron fist. Well, I hate it too, but I can't do anything, or I will get fired. At this point, I realized that even though I ate delicious tacos, I still needed to eat something tomorrow, so I said to the security guard, I need to go to the supermarket. Thanks for the help. Yeah, no problem. So I went to the supermarket and was looking for the milk for that calcium when I heard the loud, hey, coming from behind me, so I turned around to see Karen. There you are. I have been looking for you for 5 hours. I was in the mall for a total of 3 hours. Sorry ma'am, but why were you looking for me? Because you embarrassed me, my little brat. Yes, she did call her own daughter a brat. Ma'am, could you lower your tone when talking? I don't need to smell your last week casserole. What did you say? At this point, everyone that was in the produce section was looking. I noticed that the daughter was crying at this and she looked horrified. Ma'am, you are scaring your daughter. Can you please calm down? So you want to give me an attitude, huh? Then she tried to swing a slap at me while saying, respect your elders. But she was so slow that me, with the reflexes of a heavily sedated sloth, could just step back to avoid it. Now it is getting loud and she decided that she was best for words, so she yelled again, "Shut up!" And now I have lost my cool. What the hell do you think you're doing? My dad has a really deep yelling voice and I got that in my genetics, so just imagine a 5'10", 17-year-old with the yell of a bear. I am done with your nonsense. Get away from me. Then I realized that I was scaring the daughter too, so I stopped yelling. Don't yell at me, Brat, and because you embarrassed me in front of everyone, again, you will have to pay. She tries to steal my wallet. I have no idea where this came from, but now she's trying to steal my wallet and she sadly takes it. Hey, give me my wallet back. Now the Karen has decided that since now she has my wallet, she has won and she stops yelling. You owe me for the embarrassment, so it's my wallet now. But because she has an IQ of 1, she forgot that everyone in the produce section saw what's happened, and security was called. When they arrived, they saw a 17-year-old arguing with a middle-aged woman about his wallet. They separated us and questioned us about what happened, and I told them what I just told you, and because I have like 10 witnesses, I obviously win, and they asked if I want to press charges. I was going to say no, but I remembered that girl and I did not want her to be with that monster of a parent. So I said yes. I had to testify in court and she was arrested for child abuse. Yeah, child abuse. Apparently she was abusing her daughter. What a jerk. And her daughter was given to her father. I hope he's a better person. I don't remember if she got other charges because this happened like a month ago and I have the memory of a goldfish with amnesia. I'm surprised I remember the dialogue. It's probably not 1-to-1, but I think it's close. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.